Welcome to Certification Terminal. In this series of video, we are going to discuss couple of CompTIA YE Plus Core 1 question and answers. Let's dive in. Which type of cable is most frequently used for terminating a serial connection to a modem? Option A, RJ11. Option B, LC. Option C, RJ45. Option D, DB9. The correct answer is Option D, DB9, also known as RS-232 cables. They are the most commonly used cables for terminating serial connections to modems. They are designed specifically for serial communication and are compatible with the serial ports found on many modems and computers. DB9 connectors have 9 pins, which are used for transmitting and receiving data, making them suitable for serial communication. Option A, RJ11, is incorrect. RJ11 cables are commonly used for telephone connections, typically connecting telephones to telephone lines. However, they are not typically used for serial connections to modems, which usually require more pins for data transfer. Option B, LC, is incorrect. LC connectors are commonly used with fiber optic cables for high-speed data transmission, particularly in networking environments. However, they are not used for terminating serial connections to modems, which typically use copper-based cables. Option C, RJ45, is incorrect. RJ45 cables are commonly used for Ethernet connections and networking, including terminating Ethernet cables for data transfer. While they are widely used in networking, they are not typically used for serial connections to modems. Next question. Which protocol facilitates communication between the newly purchased car and the cell phone for hands-free operation via voice commands? Option A, Wi-Fi enabled. Option B, Lightning. Option C, Bluetooth. Option D, 802.11a. The correct answer is Option C, Bluetooth. Bluetooth is a wireless communication protocol specifically designed for short-range communication between devices. It's commonly used for connecting smartphones to car infotainment systems, for hands-free calling, music streaming, and voice command operation. Bluetooth's low power consumption, simplicity of setup, and compatibility make it the preferred protocol for enabling hands-free operation via voice commands in cars. Option A, Wi-Fi enabled, is incorrect. Wi-Fi enables wireless communication between devices over short distances similar to Bluetooth. However, Wi-Fi is typically used for high-speed data transfer over local networks rather than for the specific purpose of hands-free operation via voice commands in a car. While it's possible to configure a car's infotainment system to connect to a smartphone via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth is more commonly used for this purpose due to its lower power consumption and simpler setup process. Option B, Lightning, is incorrect. The Lightning connector is a proprietary connector developed by Apple for charging and connecting iOS devices. While it's used for connecting iPhones and iPads to other devices, including cars, it's not a communication protocol itself. Instead, it can carry various protocols, including USB, for data transfer. However, for hands-free operation via voice commands, the protocol used for communication between the car and the cell phone is typically Bluetooth. Option D, 802.11a, is incorrect. 802.11a is a Wi-Fi communication standard, similar to Option A. It operates in the 5 GHz frequency range and provides high data rates over relatively short distances. While it's a wireless communication protocol, it's not commonly used for hands-free operation via voice commands in cars. Next question. Which voltage options are available through the ATX12VP1 connector for supplying power to the motherboard? Option A, 3.3 volts and 12 volts. Option B, 3.3 volts, 5 volts and 12 volts. Option C, 3.3 volts and 5 volts. Option D, 5 volts and 12 volts. The correct answer is Option B, 3.3 volts, 5 volts and 12 volts. This option correctly includes 3 voltage options, which are commonly provided by the ATX12VP1 connector to power different components on the motherboard. These voltage options are essential for supplying power to various devices, such as the CPU, memory modules, and expansion cards. Option A, 3.3 volts, 12 volts, is incorrect. This option only lists two voltage options, 3.3 volts and 12 volts. However, the ATX12VP1 connector typically supplies multiple voltage options to power various components on the motherboard, not limited to just two. Option C, 3.3 volts, 5 volts, is incorrect. Similar to option A, this option only includes two voltage options, 3.3 volts and 5 volts. While these voltages are commonly found in power supplies, the ATX12VP1 connector typically supplies more than two voltage options to adequately power the motherboard and its components. Option D, 5 volts, 12 volts, is incorrect. Again, this option only includes two voltage options, 5 volts and 12 volts. While these voltages are indeed important for powering components on the motherboard, the ATX12VP1 connector typically provides more voltage options to meet the power requirements of various components. Next question. What could be the main problem if the system clock resets daily despite shutdowns, with the time zone correctly set and BIOS settings displaying incorrect time? Option A, the NTP server has gone offline. Option B, the CMOS battery does not have a charge. Option C, BIOS time is set to universal time coordinated. Option D, daylight savings time is not enabled. The correct answer is Option B, the CMOS battery does not have a charge. The CMOS battery is responsible for maintaining BIOS settings, including the system clock, when the computer is powered off. If the CMOS battery does not have a charge, it would cause the BIOS settings, including the time, to be reset each time the computer is shut down, leading to a daily change in the system clock. Therefore, this is the most likely problem in this scenario. Option A, the NTP server has gone offline, is incorrect. If the NTP, Network Time Protocol, server were offline, it would affect the system time only when the computer synchronizes with the server. However, in this scenario, the issue occurs despite daily shutdowns, suggesting that the problem lies within the hardware or BIOS settings, rather than external synchronization. Option C, BIOS time is set to universal time coordinated, is incorrect. Setting the BIOS time to universal time coordinated, UTC, wouldn't cause the system clock to reset daily. While this setting affects how the BIOS interprets time, it wouldn't lead to daily resets of the system clock, especially when the computer is shut down daily. Option D, daylight savings time is not enabled, is incorrect. If daylight saving time were not enabled, it might cause time discrepancies during the transition periods, but wouldn't lead to daily resets of the system clock. Additionally, this issue typically arises during specific periods of the year, not on a daily basis. Next question. When a laser printer stops printing, with the paper tray less than half full, which part is likely at fault? Option A, transfer roller. Option B, document feeder. Option C, pickup roller. Option D, transfer belt. The correct answer is Option C, pickup roller. The pickup roller is responsible for feeding paper from the paper tray into the printer. If the pickup roller is worn out or dirty, it may struggle to pick up paper, especially when the paper tray is less than half full. This can result in paper feed errors and cause the printer to stop printing. Option A, transfer roller, is incorrect. The transfer roller is responsible for transferring toner from the toner cartridge onto the paper. However, if the printer stops printing with the paper tray less than half full, the issue is likely related to the paper feeding mechanism rather than the transfer of toner. Option B, document feeder, is incorrect. The document feeder is typically used in multifunction printers to feed multiple sheets of paper for scanning or copying. It is not directly related to the paper tray or paper feeding mechanism in a laser printer. Therefore, it is unlikely to be the cause of the issue described. Option D, transfer belt, is incorrect. The transfer belt is responsible for transferring the toner image from the drum onto the paper. Similar to the transfer roller, if there were issues with the transfer belt, it would likely manifest as print quality issues, rather than causing the printer to stop printing altogether, especially when the paper tray is less than half full. Next question. In order to increase the storage capacity of the new smartphone, which device is the technician most likely to install, given that the phone's performance has deteriorated due to limited storage? Option A, micro SD. Option B, SD. Option C, compact flash. Option D, mini SD. The correct answer is option A, micro SD. Micro SD cards are commonly used to expand the storage capacity of smartphones. They are compact, widely available, and compatible with many smartphone models. By inserting a micro SD card into the phone's dedicated slot, the storage capacity can be increased, alleviating the performance degradation caused by limited storage space. Option B, SD, is incorrect. SD cards are larger in size compared to micro SD cards and are more commonly used in cameras and other devices. While it's technically possible to use an SD card with an adapter in some smartphones, micro SD cards are generally preferred for their smaller size and compatibility. Option C, compact flash, is incorrect. Compact flash cards are larger, thicker, and less common in smartphones. They are primarily used in professional cameras and industrial equipment. It's highly unlikely for a technician to install a compact flash card in a smartphone to expand its storage capacity due to compatibility issues and physical constraints. Option D, mini SD, is incorrect. Mini SD cards are an older format that has largely been replaced by micro SD cards. While it's technically possible to use a mini SD card with an adapter in some smartphones, micro SD cards are more commonly used due to their smaller size and wider compatibility. Therefore, micro SD is the more likely option for expanding storage capacity in a smartphone experiencing performance degradation due to limited storage space. Next question. Which symptom might suggest a failing power supply unit from the choices provided? Option A, poor Wi-Fi signal strength. Option B, blue screen of death. Option C, no network connectivity. Option D, random system shutdowns. The correct answer is option D, random system shutdowns. Random system shutdowns are a common symptom of a failing power supply unit. As the power supply unit deteriorates, it may no longer provide stable power to the system components, leading to sudden shutdowns. This is often caused by insufficient power delivery or voltage irregularities. Option A, poor Wi-Fi signal strength, is incorrect. Poor Wi-Fi signal strength is typically not directly related to a failing power supply unit. It's more likely indicative of issues with the Wi-Fi router, antenna placement, interference, or signal range. While a failing power supply unit can cause system instability, it's not directly tied to Wi-Fi signal strength. Option B, blue screen of death, is incorrect. The blue screen of death is usually caused by issues such as driver errors, hardware failures, or software conflicts. While a failing power supply unit could potentially cause system instability leading to a blue screen of death, it's not a specific symptom directly associated with power supply unit failure. Blue screen of deaths can result from various system issues beyond just the power supply unit. Option C, no network connectivity, is incorrect. Lack of network connectivity is typically related to issues with network hardware, drivers, configuration, or ISP problems. It's not a symptom directly associated with a failing power supply unit. While power supply unit failure can lead to system instability, resulting in various symptoms, loss of network connectivity is not a primary indicator of power supply unit failure. Next question. What technology enables the provision of power to a wireless access point situated in a drop ceiling where no direct access to a power source exists? Option A, hub. Option B, repeater or extender. Option C, Ethernet over power. Option D, power over Ethernet. The correct answer is option D, power over Ethernet. Power over Ethernet technology enables both data and power transmission over Ethernet cables. It allows devices like wireless access points to receive power through the same Ethernet cable used for data transmission, eliminating the need for a separate power source. Therefore, this is the correct answer, as it directly addresses the scenario of providing power to a wireless access point in a drop ceiling where direct access to a power source is not available. Option A, hub, is incorrect. A hub is a network device that connects multiple devices in a network but it doesn't provide power to devices. Its primary function is to broadcast data packets to all devices connected to it. Therefore, it's not suitable for providing power to a wireless access point in a drop ceiling. Option B, repeater or extender, is incorrect. A repeater or extender is used to boost the Wi-Fi signal by receiving and retransmitting it to extend coverage. While it aids in expanding the network's reach, it doesn't provide power to devices like a wireless access point. Therefore, it's not the appropriate technology for providing power in this scenario. Option C, Ethernet over power, is incorrect. Ethernet over power is a technology that allows network connectivity through existing electrical wiring. While it enables networking through power outlets, it doesn't provide power to devices like a wireless access point. Ethernet over power adapters use power outlets to transmit Ethernet signals, but they don't supply power to devices connected to them. Next question. What protocol is used for both network basic input or output operations and NetBIOS over TCPIP? Option A, domain name system. Option B, simple network management protocol. Option C, NetBT. Option D, secure shell. The correct answer is Option C, NetBT. NetBT is a protocol used for NetBIOS communication over TCP/IP networks. It allows legacy NetBIOS applications to communicate over modern TCP/IP networks. NetBT facilitates network basic input or output operations, NetBIOS, which include functions like naming, addressing, and session management. Option A, DNS, domain name system, is incorrect. DNS is primarily used for translating domain names to IP addresses and vice versa. While DNS is crucial for network communication, it is not specifically designed for network basic input or output operations, NetBIOS, or NetBIOS over TCP/IP. Option B, SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol, is incorrect. SNMP is used for network management and monitoring network devices. It is not directly related to network basic input or output operations, NetBIOS, or NetBIOS over TCP/IP. Option D, SSH, Secure Shell, is incorrect. SSH is a cryptographic network protocol used for secure remote access to network devices. It is not related to network basic input or output operations, NetBIOS, or NetBIOS over TCP/IP. Next question. Upon rebooting a user's workstation to address slow performance, if a smart error is encountered during the boot up process, what should be your foremost action? Option A, reformat the hard drive. Option B, run disk part. Option C, run chkdsk. Option D, backup the hard drive. The correct answer is Option D, backup the hard drive. Backup the hard drive is the correct action when encountering a smart error during boot up. A smart error can indicate potential hardware failure or imminent disk failure. Therefore, the foremost action should be to prioritize data safety by backing up important files and data before attempting any repair or diagnostic procedures. This ensures that data loss is minimized in case of further issues with the hard drive. Option A, reformat the hard drive, is incorrect. Reformatting the hard drive should not be the foremost action when encountering a smart error during the boot up process. Reformatting erases all data on the drive and should only be considered as a last resort, especially if data backup and recovery attempts fail. Reformatting without attempting data backup could result in permanent data loss. Option B, run disk part, is incorrect. Disk part is a command line utility used for managing disk partitions, volumes, and drives. While it can be used to perform various disk-related tasks, running disk part is not the primary action when encountering a smart error during boot up. Option C, run chkdsk, is incorrect. chkdsk, check disk, is a Windows utility used to check the integrity of the file system and disk surface for errors. While running chkdsk can help identify and potentially repair disk errors, it may not be the foremost action when encountering a smart error during boot up. The priority in this scenario should be to ensure data safety by backing up the hard drive, as a smart error can indicate potential hardware failure. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if these questions add value to your preparation. We'll meet in the next video. Take care until then.